Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and enjoy this fanfic part 1. Now let's start the fanfic. Village hidden in the leaves is the strongest hidden village in the elemental nations. It has last 3 of the great shinobi wars. The village has produced countless shinobi of the finest quality. Over the mountain looking upon the village are faces inscribed of the 4 Hokages or fire shadows, the village leaders over the years. The first Hokage Hashirama Senju touted as the god of shinobi, and by many still is considered the strongest shinobi to ever live, owner of the legendary bloodline, would release. Second is the face of the second Hokage Tobirama Senju, a man known to be a genius and the fastest shinobi of his era. The third face belongs to the third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, also given the title, God of Shinobi, due to his mastery over the 5 nature elements. A man who has led the village through 2 shinobi wars and emerged victorious. The last face belongs to Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage. Known as Konoha's Yellow Flash, and the hero of the 3rd shinobi war where he massacred over 1,000 Iwa shinobi in a matter of minutes due to his infamous technique, the Harem. At this moment the same 4th Hokage is in midst of a very delicate situation. Ah Minato, I will kill you. You did this to me, you bastard. I will kill you. Kushina Uzumaki Namikaze, the wife Minato Namikaze, is at the moment going through labor. It is her second time giving birth, with the first being a 6-year-old boy named Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. He is a first-year academy student at Konoha Shinobi Academy. He is her first baby and she loved him very much. But now 6 years later she is again giving birth to twins. Common Kushina push. Everything will be alright. Don't push me Namikaze, you did this, I'll kill you after this. Minato was a fearless shinobi, but if anything, he truly feared would be his wife a unholy fury. The grip on his hand was already breaking his bones. Just a little more Kushina and the baby would be out, just one last push. Ah, UWAAAA. There you go, a healthy baby boy and a healthy baby girl. The twins are just fine. Thank goodness. Phew, that was exciting, said Minato. Kushina, who had the time to catch her breath, yeah. It was tiring. So, what are their names? Have you decided yet? Minato turns to her and smiled. Yes, Natsumi and Menma Uzumaki Namikaze are children. Bawako and her assistant wrapped the babies in towels, were about to hand the babies to the mother when, silhouette of a figure appeared and slashed their throats with a kunai. Hearing the strangled cry, Minato turned towards the direction from where the sound came from and was horrified from what he saw. There, standing over the dead bodies of Bawako and her assistant, was masked man with Menma in his hands. Minato Namikaze, move away from the Jinchuriki or else. Wait, calm down. Please just calm down. Oh, but I'm perfectly calm. The masked man's hands were hovering over Menma's face when suddenly a kunai appeared in his hands. Minato was very nervous now. Who is this guy, and what does he want? Why is he doing this? Thought Minato. My baby, screamed Kushina, seeing the horrific scene before her eyes. Now move away from the Jinchuriki and nothing will happen to your precious child. Seeing that they were not moving, the masked man threw Menma above him and jumping towards the baby with kunai pointed towards the baby. Seeing this, Minato used his superior speed and caught Menma before even the masked man reached him. Turning towards where Kushina lay, he saw that the masked man had kidnapped her and is gone. Cursing, he took both his twins and teleported to his own safe house to prepare to rescue Kushina from the masked man. In the clearing outside the village. The masked man was preparing to summon the Kyuubi. Why are you doing this? Asked a tied-up Kushina. Nothing that concerns you, since you will be dead soon. Summoning jutsu, said the masked man. Ah, screamed Kushina, feeling an excruciating pain in her stomach from where the sealed Kyuubi was ripped apart from her. A gained 9-tailed fox appeared behind her. Now Kyuubi, you will be under my genjutsu and I will use you to destroy this wretched village. No, said a weak voice of Kushina, who wobbily stood up. So you are still alive, it's to be expected from you Uzumakis because of your large chakra. Therefore I will use the very beast that was sealed inside of you. The Kyuubi raised his paw and slashed towards Kushina to rip her apart. Kushina closes her eyes waiting for the inevitable, but she never felt the claw on her as she swept from her feet and in the safety of a strong pair of hands. She opened her eyes and saw that Minato had reached and rescued her before the claw could maim her. You truly live up to your moniker, Minato Namikaze. Minato didn't reply, he just teleported with Kushina towards the safe house. The masked man, seeing that the Hokage left, he turned his eyes towards the village. Controlling the Kyuubi, he fires an attack towards the village, breaking apart the gates, alerting everyone. Scene change. In the safe house, Minato appearing with Kushina. Minato teleports straight into the safe house and places Kushina on the bed beside the babies. Why did this happen, Minato? I don't know, Kushina, but whoever it is, he is planning something very dangerous. Where is Naru-chan? Is he okay? Please, Minato, bring him to me, pleads Kushina. Seeing Kushina's state, Minato assures her, don't worry, he is fine. He is with Kakashi and others. Nothing will happen to him, I promise. Now I will have to go and stop the Kyuubi before it destroys the entire village. Please stop the masked man, Minato. I will. Saying this, Minato disappears to face the nine-tailed demon fox and the masked man. Konoha Village Marketplace. Chaos. It was exactly the picture of the market square at the moment. People were running around trying to save their lives from the beast that has been destroying their village. Run! Someone save us! Were being shouted by the villagers. Behind them was gigantic figure of the Kyuubi. Its nine tails were swaying like flame. From his mouth he was continuously throwing flames toward the villagers. Shinobi were trying to contain the beast, but until then none of theirs methods and techniques worked against the strongest of the Bijus. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze was no better. He has been separated from Kakashi amongst all this chaos. The 6-year-old had spiky golden hair and purest blue eyes you will ever see. Standing 4 feet 5, he was holding on to the gifts he had prepared for his siblings that he wished to give them when they were born. He was not with his parents because his dad had told him that his mom's delivery place was dangerous for him because of the beast that was sealed inside of her. Yes, he knew that his mom was the Kyuubi Jinchuriki, as he once had unintentionally eavesdropped on their conversation. When he asked them about it, they were horrified that he knew the secret. His mom, fearing that her son was going to start to fear her, broke down on the spot. But Naruto loved his mother more than anything. He assured her that he would never fear or hate her. From that point their bond became even more stronger. But now, seeing the same beast that was supposed to be sealed inside his mother roaming around the village destroying it, he couldn't but feel pit of dread in his stomach. He knew something must have happened for the beast to have been released from his mother's seal. Naruto was an intelligent child. He has already taken an interest in Fuinjutsu and was starting to grasp the level 1 of Fuinjutsu. He was a first-year academy student, and along with his best friend Itachi he was considered the top of the class, with many considering him and his friend prodigies. Help someone, please help. Hearing this shout he turned his head towards the source of the sound. He saw a girl who was trying to remove the rubble, as if trying to help someone who was stuck inside the rubble. She had black hair just like those Uchiha folks. He quickly ran towards them. What happened? Why are you here? You should be coming with everyone to emergency barracks. My friend is inside the rubble, I need to help her. I will not leave until she is out. Someone stuck inside the rubble. It's a difficult thing to rescue whoever it is. Though the rubble isn't much, with something to anchor the big rock can be removed. Think of something, Naruto. Use your big head for once, thought Naruto. He quickly looked around to find something to act as an anchor. He saw a tree log lying at side of the destroyed building. Come and help me here, we will rescue your friend. Come with me. She followed Naruto towards the log. Both of them picked up the log and brought towards the big rock. Placing it behind it, they both pushed the other end of the log. Push with everything you got. Hi, replied the girl. Slowly the rock started to budge. Seeing this they exerted all of their strength in one go. The rock moved and they finally found an opening. Stay here. Naruto went inside, Looking around, he saw a girl lying there. She was probably his age with purple hair. He quickly went over to her, looked her over, eyeing for any serious injuries. Finding none of that sort, he picked her up and outside as the building was coming down. He put up a brave face, but he was terrified at the moment. There you go, now let's go to the emergency barracks. Nodding, the other girl followed the Naruto. Emergency barracks. Few minutes later. Reaching the emergency barracks, he saw many civilians and elder shinobis were inside. He and the girl quickly went inside with the injured person. Seeing them coming in, medics ran towards them. We too are not injured, help her, she needs it. We will, don't worry. Now both of you go inside. Saying their piece, the medics took the injured girl from them and started healing her. Naruto. Hearing his voice being called out, he turned his head and saw that Itachi was standing there. Itachi had same raven-colored hair like his mother. With him covered in a blanket was his 2 weeks-old little brother Sasuke. Thank God you're okay, Itachi. I was worried about you, buddy. Replied Naruto. Seeing his best friend safe made him relieved. Same, I was worried about you as well, and one of my other friend as well, but seeing that she is with you, I too am relieved to you safe. Other friend, you know the girl that was walking with me? Yes, I know her. She is a friend from the clan. Her name is Izumi Uchiha. So, she is an Uchiha? I thought the same thing looking at her hair. She has the same hair and facial features of the Uchihas have. Walking towards the duo of boys, Izumi said, Itachi-kun, it's good to see you're safe. Even Sasuke-chan is also safe. I am so relieved. Seeing that, Itachi replied, yeah, it's good to see that you are safe as well. Let me introduce you to my best friend Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Hello. My name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. It's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you as well, Naruto-san. My name is Izumi Uchiha, and thank you for helping my friend Yugao. It means a lot to me. No problem. I was happy to help. Rua Aarrrrrrr. Hearing the roar, they turned to see that the Kyuubi was being attacked by a big toad. Naruto recognized that toad as it was his father's summon, Gamabunta. He also saw another toad. He knew that his Jiraiya Oji was also helping his father. Don't worry, guys. My dad has gone to face the Kyuubi along with Jiraiya Oji. Hearing him, all of them who were present felt relieved and hope for the first time that night. With Minato, few minutes earlier, teleporting straight on top of the Hokage monument, he saw the giant beast laying mayhem all across the village. He silently prayed whatever kami up there for the safety of his eldest son Naruto. Naruto, please be safe somewhere out there. Just as he was going to summon, the same masked man appeared before him. Today Konoha would fall, Yondaime. You cannot do anything. Why do this? Who are you? Are you Madara? Because only he could control the Kyuubi like that. Who knows who I am? As for why I am doing this, maybe it's for war or maybe it's for peace. The mask took steel chains. Seeing the chains, Minato narrowed his eyes. Then I have to stop you here. Saying that, Minato and the masked man launched themselves against each other. But, as Minato swung his kunai through the man, he just passed through the figure like he was a transparent. What the? Before he could think of something, the man launched his chains towards him, dodging them by just little. Minato created distance between them. What was that? How could I just pass through him? It may be one of his techniques. Damn it. I need to finish this quickly. He is strong and I need to stop the Kyuubi as well. I got a plan. Reading himself, Minato formed a Rasengan on his right hand and took on of his Hirazen kunais on his left and went towards the masked man. Seeing that they were nearing, he launched his kunai towards the man. As he was expecting, the kunai just phased through the man. The masked man threw his chains towards Minato. As it was millimeters away from Minato, Minato vanished from his side. Before the masked man could understand what happened, Minato reappeared on kunai and turned his body towards the man and shoved his Rasengan on his back. A huge explosion occurred and Minato was blown away from the spot. He picked himself up quickly and looked towards the man. He asked that the man injured at the least. You truly live up to your name, Yondaime, but it is far from over. we will meet again. Saying his piece, the masked man morphed into nothingness. Seeing that the masked man is gone, Minato made his way towards the Kyuubi. Reaching the clearing, he quickly formed some hand signs and smashed his palm on the ground, summoning jutsu. Minato, what's going on? Why have you summoned me? Inquired Gamabunta. Help me fend off the Kyuubi as it is attacking Konoha. Very well, let's go. The duo reached the scene where Kyuubi was and saw that Sandaime and Jiraiya were trying to fight the Kyuubi but to no success. Gamabunta launched a massive fire jutsu on the Kyuubi. Kyuubi for the first time had to dodge an attack from someone. When the Kyuubi turned towards the direction from where the attack came, he saw that Gamabunta was standing, and on top of him the Yondaime Hokage was standing glaring towards him. Seeing the duo, a new well of hatred was born within the Kyuubi. He launched his attack, the Bijudama, towards the Yondaime. Seeing the attack coming towards him, Minato went through some hand seals at once and yelled the name of his technique, Fuinjutsu, Absorption Barrier. The attack completely got absorbed by the technique. Minato noticed that even though he was able to divert the attack, he would not be able to defeat the Kyuubi. Coming to the conclusion, he turned towards Sandaime and Jiraiya and said, I have to do something. I will take the Kyuubi with me somewhere isolated where I can complete my plan. Sandaime-sama, you stay here and control the situation. Jiraiya-sensei, come with me. Nodding their head, Jiraiya went and stood beside Minato. Minato did a few hand seals and stopped the Kyuubi in its tracks. Then, he transported himself, Jiraiya and the Kyuubi towards his thought destination. Sandaime stood there and watched as his successor teleported the Biju along with himself and his student. Turning towards the remaining force, he gave directions to proceed. Outside the Minato's safehouse, appearing with the restrained Kyuubi. Appearing near his safehouse where his newborn twins were, he said to Gamabunta, Bunta, keep him restrained, I have a plan to stop him. Turning towards the safehouse, he quickly teleported himself inside. Entering the house, he saw Kushina passed out and the babies asleep by the side of their mother. He knew what he was going to do would later put him in end of his wife's unholy wrath. But he had to do no matter what to stop the Kyuubi. He quickly collected his children in arms and teleported outside, praying that Kushina would understand and forgive him later. Appearing with the children, he quickly brought forth 2 altars of sealing. Minato, what the hell are you doing? I am going to seal the Kyuubi into 2 of my children, Jiraiya. They are going to save us. Are you sure that's the only way? Yeah, I am. Minato finished. He put both his children on the altar and started drawing the seal. Kyuubi understood what the Yondaime was going to do. He moved to intervene with his work when Gamabunta appeared in front of him and smacked him right on the face. Jiraiya also moved in to help his student. After completing the seals, Minato turned towards the Kyuubi, and went to some hand signs, Hake Fuin. The yang part of the Kyuubi got ripped apart from himself and was sealed in Natsumi, whereas the yang part got sealed himself in Menma. It is over, Minato said tiredly. Yeah, said Jiraiya. Well, I am returning to Myoboku, I need to rest. Yeah, thank you Bunta for your help, without you it would have been impossible, Minato gratefully bowed. Nodding his head, Gamabunta disappeared in a puff of smoke. First let me check on Kushina and put the twins to bed, then we will talk. Jiraiya nodded and followed him to the safehouse. Minato placed the twins on the bed, went over to Kushina and used the mystic palm technique to check her. To his relief, it was only severe chakra exhaustion, she will be out for a few days. Sighing, Minato looked towards Jiraiya and was surprised to see that he had an unusually serious look on his face. Jiraiya says, Minato, listen. On the top of the Hokage mountain. People were gathered on the Hokage mountain. They have just come out from the bunker. All of them became very sad to look at the condition of the village. Many houses have been destroyed. Large parts of the village have turned into craters. Parents were looking for their missing children. Medics were still looking after the injured and were doing a head count. People were slowly planning on going down the mountain to see the extensive damage that has been caused. Naruto and Itachi slowly came out with their friends from the bunker. Naruto and company were sad to see the condition of the village. Naruto was very anxious, and wanted to get any kind of news regarding his parents. When they were contemplating on what to do, they heard a loud scream, "Itachi-chan! Sasu-chan! Where are you?" Naruto and Itachi stood there dumbfounded, turning their heads towards the direction of the sound. They saw a very worried Makoto frantically looking for her children. She stopped by a medic and screamed, "Have you seen my babies?" Exclamation mark quote dot. Naruto was doing his best to stop his laughter. Itachi had turned red from embarrassment. Itachi called out, "Ka-san. I am here and Sasuke is safe, please stop shouting." Makoto turned towards them. Seeing them, she dashed towards them and engulfed the three in a fierce hug. She was elated to see her sons and godson safe and sound. "Thank goodness you three are all right." She started shedding tears of joy seeing them safe. Itachi was also happy to see his mother safe, also felt great relief from it. Naruto, though was happy to see her safe, couldn't help but ask the question that was bugging his mind, "Do you know anything about my parents, Makoto Oba-san?" Question mark quote. Makoto, seeing Naruto's distress, gently answered by bringing in a soothing hug, "Don't worry Naruto-chan, nothing will happen to them. Your parents would soon come to you with your little siblings. Just calm down and wait a little, okay?" "Okay," Naruto answered half-heartedly. Even though he saw Makoto as a second mother to him, he still was worried. They were about to move towards the Uchiha district, when a huge explosion took place. The explosion was so massive that it rocketed them off their feet. They could see the bright light from the direction in which Yondaime took the Kyuubi. People became anxious, none more so than Naruto on seeing the explosion. The light died down, but it still left an unusual silence that was filled with coldness. Naruto couldn't help but feel a premonition of something bad. In the Hokage office, after some time, Naruto has finally reunited with Kakashi, and along with him is with his Jiji. His Jiji, that is Sarutobi Hiruzen, is still waiting on some news on the blonde's family. Naruto was becoming anxious. After the huge blast few minutes ago, he is feeling a very bad premonition kind of thing. He was brought out of his musings when Jiraiya appears inside the office with a very solemn expression. "Jiraiya Oji, where is Ka-chan and Tu-san?" Jiraiya, hearing this question, just lowers his head. The message was already clear in the minds of Sandaime and Kakashi. They also looked down. They couldn't meet Naruto's eyes. "Where are they?" Again getting no response, he shakes Jiraiya to get an answer. "I am sorry kid, but neither they nor your siblings made it." "No. Tell me you are lying. Please tell me you are lying." Tears were flowing like a waterfall from his eyes. He refused to believe that his parents and siblings were dead. They couldn't be. His mind refused to accept the idea. "No, this is not true. They are alive. I know they are. They cannot leave me alone. What would I do without them? Ka-chan, Tu-san, my siblings. No, 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 no." Naruto didn't feel anything. He just stood there with a dead expression on his face. Tears kept leaking from his eyes. He had lost everything in just one night. Unable to take any more, he passed out. Kakashi quickly went over him and placed him on the couch in the office. He understood what the little blonde was going through. Sandaime, seeing Naruto in that state, felt great remorse. He was very sad with the loss that his surrogate grandson had to go through. "Take care of him, he will need your support more than anything now." Jiraiya's voice brought them out of their musings. "You will not stay with him." "No. I need to be vigilant more than ever now with my spy network." Both Sandaime and Kakashi understood his reasoning. Sandaime then asked Jiraiya, "What happened to the Kyuubi?" "Minato took it with him. That is what caused the explosion. I was thrown outside the barrier just before it exploded." "I see. Though Minato took the Kyuubi down, he left his only remaining son alone in this world. Then and there Sarutobi made a promise to himself that he will not let Naruto feel loneliness and pain." Turning towards Jiraiya, "Keep an eye out on the other villages. and inform anything noteworthy. Jiraiya nods and leaves the office in puff of smoke. Now it was time to address the village. Outside of the Hokage Tower, Hiruzen Sarutobi arrives on top of the Hokage Tower to address the assembled crowd. People PF Konoha, the situation has been sorted. Our beloved Yondaime defeated the Kyubi. Konoha still stands and the will of fire still brightly burns. A huge cheer rung out, but we also have lost a lot brave men and women. Along with them our beloved Yondaime and his family also perished in this attack. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze is the only remaining member of their family. It's sad day for all of us. Let us pray so that their souls may rest in peace. Silence, complete silence rung out in the entire area. After a minute of silence Sandaime again announced, please return to your homes and rest. Today has been a long day, today we rest and tomorrow we will start anew. After that the Sandaime went inside the tower to take Naruto back with him to his own home. The boy and he himself needed support, they may only have one another. Tomorrow he will have to deal with new issues. The month after the Kyubi attack has been eventful for to say. After a week of mourning of the dead, the village dusted itself back on its feet. Repair work was going on all across the village. The day after the Kyubi attack a council meeting was called. Hiruzen Sarutobi retook the mantle of the Hokage and started the reconstruction of the village. The village had lost about 200 shinobis and nearly 150 civilians altogether. It has lost a portion of its forces, which compelled the old Hokage to call back his shinobis who were out on missions. Jiraiya also informed him that he was in the grass country now and was planning on going to the iron country. This information made Sarutobi think what his student was up to. When he asked him what would he do in iron country, Jiraiya simply replied to meet an acquaintance. Hiruzen let this slide for now. Sitting in the office Hiruzen was thinking what to do next. The village was unstable at this moment. Looking towards the wall he noticed the pictures of all the Hokages. His eyes landed on his successor, couldn't help but feel saddened by his and his family's untimely death. Thinking of them, his mind recollected another blonde and again the Sol NMN feeling returned. Naruto had taken their death very hard. He had been living with the Sarutobi family for the past month. The first 2 weeks he refused to train, talk, he even only ate the bare minimum. Thinking of that, he also thought that the last 2 weeks he also had started slowly coming out of his shell. Something good had happened that had made him return to his former life. He has again started to train from last week, and now is going out to talk with his friend. The pain is still there and might never go away from him, but he has started to slowly but surely move on with his life. He was brought out of his musings with a knock on the door. Come in. Entering was the principal of the Ninja Academy. His name was Kosuke Azuki. He was an old retired shinobi from the Azuki shinobi family. Even though they were not a clan but still they produced good ninjas for the village. Ah Kosuke, what brings you here? I hope the academy repairs are coming along well. Yes Hokage-sama, the repairs are almost complete. We will be able to open next week. I actually came to inform about that. The Sandaime hearing this smile kindly. It is certainly good news. Say, how's Yugao-chan doing? The passing of her parents must have taken a toll on her. Kosuke smiles fondly at the old Hokage and replied, she was devastated at first, refused to do anything. But I suppose a friend came along with similar pain, they both became kind of pillar of strength for each other. That has surely helped her. She has restarted her training and is returning to her old persona slowly. Sandaime was happy to hear that. Her case was much like Naruto's. She also lost her parents in the attack, but unlike Naruto she still had her grandparents to support her. But this mysterious friend, Sandaime looked towards Kosuke and asked, who is this friend you are talking about? The principal simply replied smiling, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Sandaime widened his eyes at the name being called out. Now he understood what had happened with his surrogate grandson to make him slowly move on. He smiled genuinely at this news. It's good. Both them are helping each other to move on. It seems everything is slowly turning out to be good. Kosuke just nodded at this. He didn't have a problem with the friendship. Far from it, he actually welcomed this news with open arms. The boy had helped his granddaughter when he couldn't. Finishing his report, Kosuke excused himself and went back to the academy overseeing its repairs. The Sandame also returned back to his paperwork. With Naruto. Naruto was training at his family training ground. He had 10 shadow clones doing chakra control exercises, and another 10 going through taijutsu katas of his father's, hummingbird style. He has resumed his training after wallowing in sorrow for 3 weeks. His parents' and siblings' death had taken a toll on him. He refused to do anything, he didn't even go to check up on his friends. He was such a well until his new friend Yugao came along. She helped him on getting over his trauma, not that the pain ever would completely go away. But she understood his pain as she herself had gone through it. She had helped him a lot, he smiled fondly remembering the memory. Flashback. It has been only 2 weeks since his family's death. The pain was not receding at the least. He couldn't help but let loose tears every time he remembered their faces. Today he has come to the park. It's the last location where he and his Ka-chan spent a time together. He went and sat down on the bench and looked towards the lake with a dead expression on his face. His eyes didn't have the same light in it that it had 2 weeks ago. He was alone, totally alone. All his family are gone. He couldn't help but be angry at Jiraiya for at least not being there when he woke up. He knew that the village needed him more than ever now. He was smart boy, he understood at least that fact. But he could have been there for at least a day. Even not being present there, he still could have written to him once in the past 2 weeks. Naruto knew that he had lost his precious student, but damn it. He was his godson, for God's sake. A letter wouldn't hurt. The least he could do was assure him that he was there for him. But all of this was wistful thinking on Naruto's part. That's why he refused to call him Oji-san if he couldn't even be there to support him. He was thankful to his Gigi. He was always there for him. He even let him stay with his family for the last 2 weeks. They had helped him a lot. But the pain still wouldn't go away. Just thinking about his family brought fresh tears to his eyes. He was brought out of his thoughts when he heard the sound of someone crying. He tried to locate the source of the sound by looking everywhere. Not seeing anyone in his vicinity, Naruto stood up and followed the sound source. He went into the bushes and came to a clearing. There he saw a girl, about his age, sitting against a tree and crying. Upon getting a closer look, he recognized her as the same girl he saved on the eve of the attack. Walking closer, Naruto asked, "Why are you crying?" She looked up and saw him. "It's none of your business." Naruto frowned upon hearing the reply. Though it was rude, he let it slide, thinking that she is just sad. "Hey, it can ease the pain if you share it, ya know," Naruto replied with a smile. "Nothing can ease the pain. Go away, I don't want to talk." "Maybe, but if you can tell me about your pain, I may be able to help." Seeing his persistence, the girl scowled. "Can you bring back my parents?" "No. Then you can't help me. You don't know what it is to lose your parents." But when she looked at him, she saw a sad smile appear on his face. "I know exactly how it feels to lose one's parents. I lost mine in the Kyuubi attack." Naruto finished with some tears leaking from his cerulean eyes. "I am sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Please forgive me." "There is nothing to forgive. You were sad, it no problem." The girl was amazed to see the maturity in the boy. Naruto, on his part, was thinking that he was himself running away from reality. Does this pain ever go away? No, it doesn't. Then how can you be so strong? I don't know. I sometimes think what my parents would have said. Both of them sat there in peaceful silence. When Naruto spoke, "You know, you are the first person with whom I am talking after my parents' death. Talking with you got me thinking that my parents wouldn't want me to be like this. They would want me to be happy." He finished smiling. Hearing him, the girl went silent. After few moments she replied, "You are right, my parents wouldn't want me to be like this. But I don't want to be alone, she replied solemnly. You wouldn't be, I will be there for you as a friend, Naruto replied looking at her. Friend. Will you be my friend? Of course, that's what we are, right? Yes, we are friends. Great. My name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. It's nice to meet you. Seeing his upbeat nature, she smiled, a genuine smile, for the first time in 2 weeks. My name is Yugao Azuki. It's nice to meet you as well, Naruto-san. What's with this, san? Call me Naruto. Very well, Naruto. Both of them sat there in the clearing in silence, enjoying each other's presence. Flashback end. Remembering that scene brought a smile on Naruto's face. Since then they have been meeting daily. He and Yugao have become good friends. When she found out that he was Yondaimi's son, she was ecstatic. She looked up to Naruto's mother, and asked him about her quite often. She also consoled him when he became sad when talking about his mother. In the meantime, he also went to meet Itachi. He asked for forgiveness, for not visiting them earlier. Itachi said it was alright, and Itachi's mom Makoto, who was his mother's best friend, asked him visit whenever he felt like it. She told him that he was always welcomed into their house. Naruto also thanked his Jiji for helping him, which the old man blew off as nothing. Naruto continued his training over the next week, where he even had his monthly spar with Itachi. Naruto was very proficient in shurikenjutsu. He could also do the Academy 3 jutsu very easily, as far as going to a seal-less kawarimi. He was physically conditioning his body for the upcoming year in the academy. 1 week later. Today the academy was reopening for the first time, after the Kyuubi attack. The damages have all been repaired. Naruto woke up early, did his physical training, washed up and left for the academy. When he was walking, many people gave him condolences over his parents' death. He thanked them all. Upon reaching the academy gates, he noticed Itachi was there as well. Yo, Itachi, it seems that you shout up after I beat you in our monthly spar, ready to be the second best, buddy. You wish, Naruto. We will see who comes on top this year. Yeah, we will, Naruto replied with confident smirk, which was returned by Itachi as well. Placing themselves in their seats in the classroom, they waited for their sensei to show up. All the students who weren't injured or were healthy came to attend the academy. He could recognize Izumo and Katetsu, as well as Hayate seating there. Naruto then started thinking about his elemental training. He turned his head towards his best friend. Hey Itachi. Do you know your elemental affinities? Itachi nodded his head at his question. Yes, I do. Oh, what is it? Asked a curious Naruto. I have 2 affinities, fire and lightning. Hearing this, Naruto became even more interested in testing his affinities. Maybe Jiji would help me on discovering my affinities. I cannot buy those chakra papers from the store before I turn 8. I will ask him after class lets out today, he thought. He was still musing over his affinities, when the door slides open and their Iku-sensei walked in. Good morning, class. It's good to be back and I am happy to see you all fine. Oh, and Naruto, I am sorry for your parents. Naruto offers a small smile to his sensei. Nodding his head, Ikus continued, okay, now. There will be other students joining us for the foreseeable future. Due to Mata-sensei's death, be nice to them and behave properly. Now all of you outside, please come in. About 20 or so students came through the door. Naruto could recognize few of them, mainly Izumi and Yugao. After their introductions, they took their seats. Yugao and Izumi walked towards Naruto and Itachi and sat in the bench before them. It seems we would be together, for the future, Itachi-kun, and nice to meet you again, Naruto-san, said Izumi. Naruto waved his hand. Please, just Naruto. Any friend of Itachi is a friend of mine. Izumi nodded her head and smiled. Itachi also offered a small smile. Turning his head towards Yugao, he said, "It's nice to meet you, Yugao-san. Izumi and Naruto have talked a lot about you. I hope we can be friends. Same here, Itachi-san, and it's nice to meet you as well." Seeing that their sensei had started the lesson, they quietened down and paid their full attention to the class. The classes were pretty boring for Naruto, since he already knew what the teacher was teaching at this moment. But nonetheless he paid attention to it, he didn't want to get in any problem. After excruciatingly painful hours of boredom, the lunch break finally came. He was looking forward to the sparring session after the lunch break, as it taijutsu class after this. He picked his packed lunch that was given to him by the Sarutobis. He had to thank them again later. You all coming for lunch? Let's go outside and finish our lunch. Nodding their heads, Itachi and company followed after Naruto. So, Naruto, what is your favorite branch in shinobi arts? My favorite one I would say is ninjutsu. I would also say fuinjutsu, though I have started with it. Nodding her head, Yugao turned towards Itachi, and yours? Itachi stopped eating and looked towards her. Mine is also ninjutsu, but I also like kenjutsu. What about yours, Yugao? Asked Naruto. Mine is kenjutsu, but I would like to be proficient in ninjutsu as well. Naruto turned his head to the last member of the group. She had been quiet all along. What is your branch, Izumi? Izumi hesitated a bit but finally answered, I don't have likes in nin, ken or tai. But I would like to be a combat medic, like Tsunade Senju. Why were you hesitating to say this answer? Asked Naruto. It's just that Uchihas normally prefer nin or genjutsu, but I want to learn medical ninjutsu, so it is not very well looked upon. I thought you all would also share the same thought. Nonsense. Why would we do that? There's nothing wrong with your likes. Naruto finished smiling at Izumi. Itachi and Yugao also followed along with Naruto and smiled at her. Izumi was very happy to have friends like them. After the lunch break, the taijutsu session was going to take place. All the students gathered around the teacher on the ground. Okay, today we will be doing sparring matches. It would be random. First up, Itachi Uchiha versus Tama Uchiha. Itachi and the other guy positioned themselves and waited for their sensei to start the spar. Hajime. Both boys dashed towards each other. Tama threw a punch towards Itachi's face. Itachi sidestepped and gave roundabout kick to his face. He stumbled towards the side of the platform. Seizing this opportunity, Itachi landed a vicious punch in his gut, sending him outside the ring. Winner by knockout, Itachi Uchiha. Everyone started clapping Fro the Raven Head. His fangirls were all squealing in delight seeing, there, Itachi winning. Next match, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze versus Hirako Hyuga. Said individuals went inside the ring and stood facing each other. Hajime. Both boys stood there. Naruto entered the hummingbird-style taijutsu stance. Hirako entered the gentle fist stance. Naruto moved with a low Chunin-level speed. He aimed for the sternum. When Hirako blocked the attack, Hirako countered by hitting the tenketsu point on Naruto's right hand, making it immobile. Naruto used his agility to turn his body a land drop kick. Getting hit by the drop kick sent Hirako flying through the air, nearly falling outside the ring. Both boys stood up and looked at each other with keen eyes. Naruto was at disadvantage. This time Hirako dashed towards Naruto, who waited for him arrive. Nearing Naruto, Hirako threw a punch towards his stomach to close the tenketsu point there. Naruto, seeing the attack, fainted out a little to get hit at the side of the stomach. Using this opportunity, Naruto delivered a vicious kick in his abdomen. Hirako bent forward in pain when Naruto did an acrobatic kick on the backside of Hirako's head, making him face fall on the ground, knocking him out. Everyone was in awe of the match that they witnessed. The teachers being highly impressed of Naruto's victory over a Hyuga in taijutsu spar. Ikus called out, winner by knockout, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Everyone clapped for Naruto, who was posing with sheepish grin on his face. Hirako stood up and went towards Naruto. It was good match, Uzumaki-san, sure was. And please call me Naruto, let's spar SGAIN sometimes. Naruto smiled. Hirako nodded his head at the statement, sure, be ready to lose next time, we will see. Hirako. Both made the reconciliation sign and went out of the ring. Yugao and Izumi were also able to win their rounds of spar. All in all, it was a good day for Naruto. After the classes let out, he quickly thanked his teachers and left. He told his friends that he needed to meet the Hokage, so he will not be able to go with them. They understood and bid him goodbye. Upon reaching the Hokage Tower, he was greeted with his father's secretary Misa-san. Upon seeing Naruto, she smiled a sad smile. Naruto-kun, I am sorry for you are going through. You must miss them terribly. I know it's painful, but hang in there, Oki. If you ever need anything, please don't hesitate to tell me. Hearing that, Naruto flashed a kind smile to her. He thanked her and went to meet his Gigi. In his office, Hiruzen Sarutobi was dealing with paperwork, the bane of all cages. Damn this blasted paperwork. Does it not have any end? I hate you, Minato, for leaving me with this shit. He was brought out of his musings when the office door suddenly opened and Naruto walked in. Seeing his surrogate grandson, Hiruzen's mood brightened a bit. Naruto, my boy, what are you doing here? And how was your day at the academy? My day was fine, Gigi. As for why I am here, I want to learn what are my nature affinities. Hiruzen widened his eyes a little. No one this young wanted to learn elemental affinities. He was 6-year-old, for crying out loud. Why, Naruto-kun, why do you want to learn your elemental affinities this early? I want to train in them. I don't want to be weak anymore. I will not lose anyone precious to me anymore. Hearing his words and seeing the resolution in his eyes, Hiruzen finally relented. He took out a chakra paper from his drawer and gave it to Naruto. Channel your chakra through the paper, Naruto-kun. I hope you know what happens after that. Naruto nodded his head. Yes, for fire it turns to ash, for water it soaks, for lightning it crinkles into a ball, for earth it turns to dust, and for wind it slices in half. Very good, Naruto-kun. Now channel your chakra and let's see what you got. Naruto channeled his chakra as told, but what happened surprised the both of them. The paper spilt in 4 parts, one got soggy, the other turned to dust, another part crinkled up, and the final part turned to ash. What the hell happened? Did I do something wrong? Impossible. 5 affinities. How? Size, it seems Naruto-kun has a lot of surprises. These were the thoughts running through both the individuals' minds. Gigi. Did I do something wrong? No, Naruto-kun, you didn't. It seems that you all 5 of the elemental affinities. Naruto, hearing that, brightens up. Awesome. I knew I was awesome. The Sandaime chuckled, seeing the boy's enthusiasm. Maybe Naruto-kun has some Kekkei Genkai as well. We will have to wait and see. Mused the old Hokage. Naruto was still very much excited over the fact that he possesses 5 affinities. Wow, Gigi. I have 5 affinities. This is so great. Seeing the boy's enthusiasm, the Hokage couldn't help but chuckle at his antics. Hiruzen took out a book from the shelf and handed it over to Naruto. Now, Naruto-kun, it's excellent that you have 5 affinities, but you have to work equally hard to master each of them. Nodding his head, Naruto said, I promise, Gigi, I will master each of them. The Hokage knew he could do it, seeing the look of determination on the young boy's face. After talking a little more with Sandaime, Naruto went towards the Sarutobi mansion to rest. After he left the office, the Hokage waved his guard to let him alone with the stranger that just entered. The guards weren't able to sense the intruder, but Hiruzen could. Neither he nor the ANBUs noticed it. The old Hokage lit his pipe and inhaled. Yes, they didn't, but then again it was minuscule. Yes, it's true. Now what do you want to do, Hokage-sama? It could be excellent if he posses the Kekkei Genkai. Sandaime nodded his head. Yes, you are right. But for now we leave it. Whether he will unlock it or not will only be known in time. Nodding his head, the intruder said, Very well, Hokage-sama. Now by your leave. Dismissed. Anbu Commander Dragon. Now identified Anbu Commander left the room, which now contained only the Hokage. Hiruzen was about to shunshin back home, when his secretary walked in with stacks of paper. Seeing the stacks of paper, Hiruzen Sarutobi, the god of shinobi, looked towards the portrait of his successor. Damn you, Minato. 6 months later. Northern forest of Konoha. It has been 6 months since Naruto had found out that he had 5 affinities. After finding out about, the very next day he had started to trying to master them. Due to his huge chakra reserves, as an Uzumaki, he could create up to 20 Kage Bunshins easily. His mother had taught him Kage Bunshin on his 5th birthday. It took him about an hour to learn the A-rank Kinjutsu. He had novice-level control over each of his elements through 6 months training. He could perform up to D-rank jutsus for each element. His fire, earth and wind were more developed than water and lightning. He had told only Yugao and Itachi about his affinities. Both of them were shocked when they heard him, but of them decided that they would improve so not to fall behind him. Itachi had also unlocked his Sharingan, which he was the youngest to do so. He has started training with his father over controlling the Sharingan and learn its techniques. On the other hand, Naruto and Yugao have started joint training sessions. Yugao has improved in her Kenjutsu and has started to learn ninjutsu as well. She discovered that she had water and lightning affinities, which was quite rare. Naruto has also made new friends and rivals. Hirako had challenged him on taijutsu spars on multiple occasions over the last 6 months. They were tied on win-lose count with each one winning 15 spars each. They have also become good friends over the last few months, and he has officially joined his friend circle when he met Itachi, Izumi and Yugao. The 5 of them were top of the class, with Itachi and him holding the top spot and Hirako coming second. On the other hand, Yugao was the top kunoichi with Izumi being second. Today he and Yugao were in the northern forest of Konoha, training and chatting. Yugao was not allowed to leave the village and Sandaime was always keeping a close eye on him. So today they decided to rebel a bit. Both of them were sitting under a tree and chatting away. Both were sharing stories they found funny when they were training alone. But the quietness of the area unnerved Naruto a bit. Normally this part of the forest was bustling with birds and chirping sound was common on this part of the forest. But, today it was unusually quiet. Something is wrong here, it's unusually quiet. He remembered his Gigi's teachings about stealth. The birds are present, he thought looking towards the cannery that was sitting on the tree branch across him. This made him even more suspicious. His mind was working 100 miles per hour. The bird is quiet, it's not chirping at all. Gigi said this happens when it's afraid of something or someone. We haven't done anything to warrant such a reaction of it. So that means someone other than us who is present here at this moment. After coming to this conclusion, he swept his eyes throughout the area, trying to spot the person. Frantically looking, he caught a slight movement on the branches which are not very far from them. Turning his head towards Yugao, he whispered to her, "Yugao-chan, when I say to run, please listen and run, okay?" "Why, Naruto-kun?" Yugao asked worriedly. Naruto calmly answered, "We are being followed. I don't know if they are friendly, so I am telling you." Yugao understood what he wanted to do but wouldn't just leave her friend out here. "I will not leave you, Naruto-kun. I will fight with you if I have to," Yugao stated resolutely. Before Naruto could say anything, few projectiles were thrown towards them. Both of them saw it coming and dodged them. "Who's there?" shouted Naruto. To their surprise, there were 4 ninjas that came out from their hiding spots. Naruto noticed the Iwa headbands on their head and cursed his luck. He knew he was their target, but it didn't want to involve Yugao into it. "Very good, kid, as expected of a Namikaze. But today you are going to die, kid," the Iwa shinobi stated. Naruto figured out that 2 out of 3 of them were Jonins, if their attire were to be gone by. "Yugao, run. Get out of here." "No, I will not leave you here with them. I will not abandon my best friend here," she restated. She knew that Iwa hated Naruto's father, so it didn't take a genius to know what they were doing here. Naruto knew that he couldn't send his friend away now. He cursed internally, his mind working on overdrive to come out with a plan. "There are 4 of them, 2 Jonins and 2 Chunins. I have to take on the Jonins, but I can't win against them." But we still have a chance since I am sure they are going to underestimate us, so we still can surprise them with our traps and skills. We are close to the village, so if I let out a huge amount of chakra, then the sensory Anbu would pick it up and come to check. It would take them about 15 to 20 minutes to get here. So, we have to stall them for that amount of time. Very well. Yugao, stay close to me. We are going to face them. Yugao nodded her head, and took out her bokken. Naruto took out the pair of kunais he always carries and held them in a reversed-handed manner. Quiet, the confident one, are you not? You think you can take us four by yourself, boy? Naruto didn't respond, but he just stood there calmly. The leader of the group said, very well. Boys, attack them and kill them. The two Chunins rushed towards the kid. Seeing them coming, Naruto and Yugao dashed towards them as well. The Chunins clearly underestimated them. When the Chunin swung his sword at Naruto, he just disappeared in front of him. Naruto had used Toshunshin to appear behind the Chunin and put his kunai through the throat of the Chunin. Yugao had also surprised her enemy with her bokken skills and had knocked him out. But Naruto had made his first kill. His mind was in disarray. He quickly calmed down and looked towards the remaining two. We have underestimated you brats. Take this. They went to hand seals and said, water style, water gun. Naruto went through hand seals and said, Kaden, great fireball jutsu. And big fireball came out of Naruto's mouth and intercepted the water guns. It created steam. When it cleared, the Iowa Jonins noticed that the kids were gone. Cursing, they started looking for them. With Naruto and Yugao have hidden themselves well. Naruto was now going through a nervous breakdown. He had ended a life just a few minutes ago. Seeing her friend's distress, Yugao asked, Naruto, are you alright? No, Yugao, I am not alright. How can I be? I just killed somebody. I know that they are assassins and they do bad things, but I am murderer. Naruto shouted. Naruto, you are not. They were going to kill us. You just saved yourself and me too. Naruto was still not stopping his nervous mutterings. Slap. Asterisk. Naruto Namikaze Uzumaki, you are not a murderer. You are my best friend and a hero. You got that. Now get back to your former self or I will beat you to it. Yugao stated. Hearing her, Naruto calmed down. Thanks, Yugao-chan. It's always good to have you by my side. Now let's focus on our current predicament. What Naruto didn't notice was the blush on Yugao's face and her muttering, Baka. Naruto thought of a plan. He looked towards her and told her of his plan. With the IWA Shinobis. Both shinobis were looking continuously for the kids. They needed to get out fast or they might get caught. We need to separate and look for those two. Be careful. Just as they were about to separate, a fireball came out of nowhere towards them. They dodged it, but now they set the trap on. Ninja wires sprung around them and caught them in the mix. Seeing them caught, Naruto and Yugao came out at the clearing. Surrender, you can't escape now. If you resist, the traps would automatically get tighter. Naruto was unnerved with their lack of reaction. One of the shinobi chuckled, Brat. I give it to you. This is a good trap. But it's not enough to hold us trapped. To the horror of the kids, the Jonins broke the traps and launched at them. The leader went for Naruto and the other for Yugao. Now kid, give up. It's over. Naruto cursed inwardly. He took out his kunais and dashed towards the Jonin, hoping his newest plan would work. The Jonin met Naruto's strike with his own kunai, and pushed him back. Naruto made a tiger seal and said, Fire style, great fireball jutsu. Earth style, earth wall. The fireball clashed with the earth wall, crumbling it down. The Jonin was surprised by the power of the jutsu. As he was getting his bearings back, he heard, wind style, gale palm. A kunai was thrown at him using the jutsu at a tremendous speed. He was able to move his face sideward just in time as the kunai skimmed past his cheek, drawing a deep cut. He scowled at the boy, now you have done it, brat. He went through some hand signs and said, Earth style, Earth Crasher Jutsu. He slammed his hand on the ground and a small canyon formed which was heading towards Naruto at a tremendous speed. Naruto had little time to react, he jumped out of the way, but then he heard, Earth-style, mud tentacles. Soon tentacles made of mud shot up from the ground and captured him. He knew that he had lost due lack of experience. Naruto cursed inwardly when heard the smug voice of the Jonin, "You did well kid, but it's over now. Looks like my partner also finished with your girl." Hearing that, Naruto turned his head and saw Yugao being hoisted as a rag on the shoulder of the Iwa Jonin. "You gave us quite the trouble, so, as for your reward, you will watch this girl die first, Namikaze, then we will kill you. Tsuchikage-sama would be very pleased when we will be completing the mission." Naruto gritted his teeth when he saw that they were going to do. He saw them place Yugao against the tree and were preparing their weapons. He let tears of frustration of being so weak again, he would lose his best friend like this. Is this it? Will I again lose a precious person because I was weak? Why do I have to lose her? He noticed one of the Jonins preparing to strike. No, stop. I won't let you hurt her. No. Stop. No. A massive amount of chakra was released from his body. The sand in the area started reacting to it. His wish to save his friend was so much that the sand swirled around and formed a coffin and fell on the Jonin who was going to strike Yugao, killing him on the spot. The other Jonin was flabbergasted seeing the spectacle. He turned towards the blonde to see that the sand had broken his earth tentacles. The boy was standing there with sand swirling around him. Jiden. How the hell does the Namikaze brat possess the Jiden magnet, Kekkei Genkai? Frantically thought the Jonin leader. You will pay for trying to hurt Yugao-chan, you bastard, said a furious Naruto. As if acting in his thought, the sand shot towards the Iwa Jonin, piercing him in the chest, killing him on the spot. Naruto fell unconscious due to chakra exhaustion. It was at this scene that the Anbu came in. They noticed the scene, they checked the kids first. Seeing them alive, they sent 2 of them to take them to the hospital. The remaining Anbu sealed the Jonin's body up and left the scene to check for any more intruders. A day later, in the Hokage office, it was bright sunny day in Konoha. Everyone was doing their daily tasks without knowing a thing about the attack. After Naruto had woken up, he was relieved to find Yugao alive. When he met his Gigi, he broke down crying for taking lives. The Sandaime consoled him and had sent him home, asking him to come to his office the next day. Today, Naruto was sitting in front of the Sandaime when he was addressed. Naruto-kun, what happened and how did you manage to defeat 4 Iwa shinobis of Chunin and above? Asked the OL Hokage gently. He was very sad knowing that Naruto had to go through his first kill so early on in his life. But there were pressing matters to discuss first. I will tell you from the very beginning, Gigi, replied Naruto. After hearing the entire tale, the old Hokage was highly impressed by the boy in front of him. He had taken an experienced Jonin of Iwa and defeated it. There was also matters regarding his Kekkei Genkai. Jiden. How does Naruto-kun possesses the same Kekkei Genkai as the Kazekage? Interesting turn of events. It might be because of his great wind and earth affinities. My boy, you are the most unpredictable ninja I have ever seen, thought the old Hokage fondly. Now what, Gigi? Asked Naruto little nervously. Now my boy, you will have to train hard to gain full mastery over your newfound powers. I will provide you with all the materials I have regarding your Kekkei Genkai. What Kekkei Genkai do I possess, Gigi? You possess the Jiden, which helps you to control metals and sand. Naruto was awed about the fact that he had such an ability. Before he could celebrate, he turned towards the old man and asked, Gigi, how is Yugao-chan doing? She is fine, Naruto-kun. She just needs a little rest, that's all. Now go. From tomorrow you again start the academy, and I need to finish my paperwork, he grumbled at the end. Nodding his head, Naruto left the office to return home. The old Hokage sighed. What other surprises do you have, Naruto-kun? It will be interesting to see where you go. It seems that you truly were born for greatness, or the greatness had been thrust upon you, he thought looking outside the window. It's been 2 years since the Iwa assassination incident. It has also been 2 years since Naruto came to know that he has Jitenkeke Genkai. He has trained to the ground in the last 2 years. After the incident, he knew that he still needed to get a lot stronger to protect his precious ones. He has trained his affinities rigorously. He has high Chunin level control over all his elements. His most powerful affinity fire. He has advanced in water release the least, even then he has low Chunin level control over the water affinity. He also trained his Keke Genkai, now he can control 2 types of sand, mainly being cobalt and golden sand. Cobalt sand has silver color, whereas golden sand has golden color. He prefers using the cobalt sand, since it's more resilient and more powerful when attacked with. His friends have all improved, with Itachi and Yugao being the only ones who can keep up with him. Itachi, being his rival, has improved tremendously. His control over his fire affinity is unprecedented in their generation. He had unlocked his Sharingan at the age of 6, being the youngest Uchiha to ever do so. He has 2 tomos in each of his eyes, making him a prodigy of the Uchiha clan. Yugao has improved. She is the 3rd best among her generation, behind Naruto and Itachi. But she is the best female student of her generation. She is a prodigy in Kenjutsu and has mastered her water affinity to mid to high Chunin level. Hirako and Izumi have also improved, but they are yet to catch up with the 3 of their class's best. After a lot of debate and meetings, it was decided that Naruto, Itachi and Yugao have skills much above their age group. Naruto and Itachi were high Chunin level, whereas Yugao was mid Chunin level. Seeing their talent, it was decided that they would be promoted to the last year of the academy for them to graduate early. This year's academy graduation class was the last to pass out at an age of 13. A resolution was passed by the Hokage, increasing the graduation age from 13 to 15. So, Naruto and his friends will be passing out with 13-year-old genins instead of the 15-year-old batch. With Hiruzen, at the Hokage Tower, Hiruzen Sarutobi was having a nice day. Next month was the graduation exams for the last batch of students who pass out at the age of 13. His surrogate grandson was also going to take the genin exams with 2 of his friends. He couldn't be prouder of him. Early promotion was rare, and he was getting promoted at the age just 8. He has improved tremendously over the last 2 years, so has Itachi and Yugao. They weren't the top of their graduating class, so they could be easily placed together in a team. They would be one hell of a team. They were already mid to high Chunin level. It sent a shiver of excitement through Hiruzen's spine, thinking of what monsters these 3 would become when they grow up. Now the only problem was that they needed a good teacher. All the good instructors he knew were busy with their own genin teams, so the choices were very less. He had to think of something. Turning around from the balcony, he looked into his office, smiling in satisfaction at the sight. There were 5 copies of himself doing all the paperwork for him. He was eternally thankful to Naruto to tell him that secret. He also had the urge to bang his head on the table, just like the day he first came to know about the secret. He still laughs at himself remembering at that memory. Flashback. It was winter time. The whole village was covered in snow due to last night's snowfall. It was already 8 in the evening. Almost everyone has returned to their homes. In the center of the village stood the Hokage Tower. It was empty with only light coming from the office window of the Hokage. This paperwork has to be a force of nature. Nothing I do can defeat this monstrous existence. Curse you, paperwork. Curse you, Minato. Hiruzen Sarutobi, though wanted to be in his home, but fate had other plans for him. Sitting in his office with about 8 stacks of paperwork still to be done, he was cursing his predecessor with all his might for leaving him with this accursed existence. He wanted to nothing but to turn the stacks of paper into ash by using one of his fire jutsus. As he was shedding tears for his misfortune, the door opened and walked in the person who always brightens his day. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, his surrogate grandson, has grown nicely over the last year and a half. After the assassination attempt by Aiwa, he has increased his training by manifold. Hiruzen could not be prouder of him. He has improved so much along with his two friends that talks were going on promoting them to genins by advancing them to the graduating class. Seeing Naruto also reminded him of his godfather, Jiraiya. He had not visited the village since the day of the Kyuubi attack. Though he kept on sending information sporadically to them about any enemy movements, but it was Hiruzen's gut feeling that he was slacking in doing his job. His movements have also caused suspicion to grow in Hiruzen. He had visited the Tetsu no Kuni, land of iron, quite often, much to Sandame's liking. Jiraiya never visited a place this often, and the last letter he got from him was about 5 months ago. He was disappointed in his student. He very well could make time to come and visit his godson once. He shook his head to remove the thought now, and smiled. Naruto-kun, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be in the house? Naruto smiles. Actually, Gigi, I have come to call you. Everyone is waiting for you to return. I am sorry, Naruto-kun. I cannot go without finishing this paperwork, replied the old man, looking disdainfully towards the stacks of paper. Naruto, hearing this, got confused. Why doesn't his Gigi use the Kage Bunshin to do the paperwork? He looked towards the old Hokage and asked, Gigi, why don't you use Kage Bunshin to finish paperwork? Hearing that, Hiruzen froze in his place. Why hasn't he thought of that? He was the Hokage, damn it. The old Hokage opened his drawer and took out a piece of paper, with, smash here, written on top of it. The old man placed on the top of the table and started banging his head. Seeing this, Naruto couldn't stop laughing. He was rolling on the ground. Cough. Hiruzen fake coughed to gain Naruto's attention. When Naruto looked up, he said, Thank you, Naruto-kun, you don't know what you have done. You wait outside, I will join you in a minute. Nodding his head, Naruto went outside. Hiruzen stood up, walked over the table, made a ram sign, and 5 Kage Bunshin popped into existence. Get started with the paperwork. He then looked towards the horizon and laughed maniacally. Ha ha ha. Take that, eh? And Onoki. Drown in paperwork while I enjoy. Bwahahaha. Outside, Naruto couldn't help but sweat drop at his surrogate grandfather's antics. Flashback end. Hiruzen couldn't help but chuckle at the memory. But, soon his smile on his face turned to a small frown. He still had not heard anything from Jiraiya in the last 2 years. He couldn't help but feel disappointed in the Toad Sage. Naruto had completely forgotten about Jiraiya. He said that he doesn't care for his godfather anymore. The old Hokage couldn't help but agree with Naruto because of the fact that Jiraiya had completely abandoned his godson. He couldn't give any excuses on his students' behalf. He felt very disappointed over all his students. One was S-rank missing ninja, the other was gambler and drinker. She had not visited Konoha in the last 7 years. Last but not the least, Jiraiya, a pervert and now person who hides from his responsibilities. He felt disappointed in himself to raise such students. They were established as excellent shinobi, but they far worse as human beings. Will I be known as the failure of a teacher at the end of my life? I couldn't pass on my knowledge on worthy persons. Once I believed they were brilliant people, but now all I see are failures as humans, thought the old Hokage depressingly. His eyes landed on the picture of Naruto and him that stood over the table. Naruto and his friends were going to take the genin exams next month. He and Itachi were wise beyond their years. Both children were destined for greatness. But what stood out most was their humility, something that was not there in the Sanins. Seeing Naruto's picture, a spark came into the old Hokage's eyes. One last time I will take students, I will guide the new generation. One more time I will become a teacher to be the light of the future. Hiruzen decided then and there that once again he will take genin team and train them. He had the perfect children in mind. They would be his pride and joy, and maybe they will turn out to be better than the Sanins, both as shinobis and as human beings. The council will raise hell over it, but he will not stop. I will not tell anyone of my decision. They will come to know on the day of the team assignments. Let the council do what they want. I am the Hokage and my word is law. I will raise another 3 shinobi and this time I won't fail, thought Hiruzen resolutely. Unknown to him, he started something that in the future would produce 3 of the greatest shinobi to ever live. 1 month later, on the day of the graduation exam, Naruto was excited. Today he will be taking the graduation test of the academy and become a ninja. Over the last 2 years he had worked tremendously hard. He had gained advancement along with his 2 best friends, Itachi and Yugao. The 3 of them have been called prodigies. He has worked himself to the ground over the last 2 years. He has trained all his abilities to the best he could. He has been looking forward to this day since he came to know about his advancement to the graduation year. He and Yugao have been looking forward to be in a genin team together. His and Yugao's friendship has gotten deeper since the incident 2 years ago. Naruto might even confess that he might have a small crush on her as well. Naruto-kun, hurry up, you're going to be late, called out Yuki Sarutobi, the Sandame's daughter-in-law. She had taken up a mother figure role for Naruto. She had always been by the boy's side. She loved him like her very own son. Naruto replied, I am coming, wait just a moment. He was packing his stuff for the day. After rechecking his supplies for the day, Naruto went downstairs to join the Sarutobi family for breakfast. On the table at the house head's seat sat his Gigi, the Sandame. Looking towards him, Naruto greeted, Good morning, Gigi. Hope you are doing good. Haha. Yes, my boy, I am doing good. Looking forward to today? The old Hokage asked. You bet. Say, Gigi, do you know who is going to be our sensei? I do, but it's a secret that I cannot tell. You will have to find out if you pass, Naruto-kun. Though he said if he passed, the Sandame was pretty sure he would. The breakfast is very delicious, Yuki-ka-san, exclaimed Naruto. Over the years Naruto had come to see her as his mother. He loved her just as much she loved him. He felt himself truly lucky to have 2 such people who love him as their own son, one being Makoto and the other being Yuki. He then thanked them all and left for the academy. Back at the Sarutobi compound, Yuki looked towards her father-in-law and said, You look excited for some reason, Otu-san. The old Hokage looked towards her. Yes, it would be a surprise for everyone both in and out of the village. She looked at him oddly. Why is that? You will see, was just the answer of the old man. Naruto was running on the roofs of the houses on his way to the academy. Today would be the day when he would become a ninja finally. But he took off from the Sarutobi mansion earlier because he needed to stop at a certain location before he went to the academy. Naruto, after traveling for another few minutes, he came to a particular spot. He could see the entire village from here. He was standing in the Yondaime's head on the Hokage monument. He came here to visit the tomb of his family. Over the years he has visited this place on all his family's birthdays so that he could congratulate them. But today he had other agenda. He placed the white chrysanthemums on the graves of his family. He kneeled down on near the first grave. It was his father's. Naruto started, Hello to San, it has been nearly 3 years since that day. I have missed you, Dad. I still don't know what to say to you, but just so you know, I am going to become a ninja today. I trained really hard over the years and improved a lot. I hope you would be proud of me too, San. I miss you every day. I just wish that you could be here today to see me and congratulate me. Don't worry, I will become the best ninja out there. I will make proud too, San. I hope you keep watching over me from heaven, okay? And don't make Ka-chan angry. Naruto rubbed away the tears from his face. He then kneeled before the next grave, his mother's one. Bidding back a sob, as tears continued to fall, he started, Hey Ka-chan. I miss you and I love you with all my heart. I hope you are proud of me today, since I am going to become a ninja today. I didn't give up just like you said, I stood up over and over again. He couldn't continue since tears were making it difficult for him to talk. I just know this, that not everything went according to how I envisioned, but I never got depressed. I made wonderful group of friends whom I can blindly trust. Just know this. You don't have to worry. I will be alright. I love you, Ka-chan. Forever and ever. Tears were flowing, but Naruto composed himself. Wiping away the tears, he stood up, looked over his family again. Turning around, he launched himself towards the academy. At the academy, Naruto reached the academy fairly quickly from the head of the Yondaime. As he was walking towards the academy gate, he noticed Itachi standing there with his godmother and Shisui Uchiha. Naruto had met Shisui when he came to see one of his and Itachi's monthly sparring session. Shisui's and his mentality being similar, that is goofy when free and serious when needed, made them hit off from the get-go. They had become good friends. Shisui was 10 years old, and was already a Tokubetsu Jonin. He was another prodigy of the Uchiha clan and was known as Shunshin no Shisui, all across elemental nations. Naruto and Shisui have a friendly rivalry, they are both great friends. They occasionally spar with each other. Naruto hasn't been able to defeat Shisui in a spar when he used his Sharingan. Naruto and Shisui have both been working on a fire jutsu. Naruto had learned fire style, dragon breath, from Shisui, since it was Uchiha clan jutsu. Nearing them, Naruto said, "So Itachi, are you ready to take the next step in our lives, or are you chickening it out? Don't hold your breath when you lose." Naruto, replied Itachi. Smirking at his best friend, he looked towards his godmother and smiled, "It's good to see you, Makoto Oba-san. I hope little Sasuke is okay." Makoto smiled a motherly smile and hugged the blonde and said, "It's good to see you to Naruto-chan, I hope you are healthy. And about Sasuke, he is fine. Listen, today after graduation, why don't you, Itachi-chan and Yugao-chan, come over to the Uchiha mansion, we will celebrate." "Nay. Sure. Will Makoto Oba-san." Naruto beamed at the prospect of having Makoto's delicious cooking again. Before Naruto could say something again, Shisui interrupted, "Yo, Naruto, why don't we have a spar tomorrow? When you will become a genin, we can finally have an all-out ninjutsu spar," he exclaimed. Naruto nods his head excitedly. He always wanted to test his ninjutsu skills against Shisui. "Naruto-kun, Itachi," someone called out. Turning their heads, they saw their third member Yugao Azuki walking towards them. "Hey there, Yugao-chan, are you ready for the test?" "You bet, Naruto-kun, I will become a genin at the end of the day," she proclaimed excitedly. Everyone chuckled at the girl's enthusiasm. They were about to continue their conversation when the bell rung. Makoto said, hearing the bell, "Well, it looks like the academy is about to start. Best of luck, kids, do your best, okay?" A chorus of "yes" was heard and the trio went inside the academy. They sat down in their respective allotted seats and waited for the examiner to enter the room. Everyone was chatting among themselves when the door slides open. It was Iku-sensei that walked in, with a stack of papers. He addressed the class, "Okay class, today is your graduation exam, do your best is what all I can say. You all worked hard and I hope all of you pass the test and become splendid shinobis of Konoha." He went on to distribute the papers. After he was finished, he said, "Begin." Naruto saw that the maximum questions he could answer without trouble. So, he took up his pen and started writing down. About half an hour into the exam, he was finished with his paper. He looked around to see what his friends were doing. He saw that Yugao was still writing, whereas Itachi, like himself, was just finishing his paper. He also noticed two other shinobis who finished early, one being Kurenai Yuhi and the other being Hotaru. Both of them were the present year's best students. They both were 13 years old and had the best chance to take Kunoichi and Rookie of the Year. After another 15 minutes, he noticed that Yugao also finished her exam. As the hour mark crossed, Iku-sensei exclaimed, "Stop writing." He then proceeded to collect the papers. After collecting, he went to evaluate them first. It took about 10 to 15 minutes to evaluate all the 30 papers. He stood up with the result and said, "Okay everyone, let's head outside for the taijutsu exam." All the students gathered around their sensei. They were waiting for their sensei to speak when Iku spoke up. "Listen, all of you will be sparring with my assistant Takeshi here. I will evaluate you as you spar. Everyone looked towards the ring and saw a chunin about 17 years of age waiting for them with a friendly smile. Okay, first. About 15 contestants in did Itachi get called. He went up to Takeshi-sensei and was able to spar for complete 5 minutes before he bows out. Yugao, who was called next, lasted about 4 minutes. At the very end Naruto was called. He used the hummingbird style and lasted 5 whole minutes just like Itachi. The class topper Hotaru lasted nearly 6 minutes against their sensei. Overall Takeshi-sensei was very good and proficient in taijutsu. After noting down everyone's marks, he addressed them, "Alright, now the taijutsu part is done. You all will wait in the classroom and when called will come to take their ninjutsu test." Everyone went inside the academy classroom and waited for their names to be called out. First to be called was the class topper Hotaru, who after 5 minutes returned with a black Hitai 8. Amongst the 3 of them first to be called was Itachi, who went inside the room where Iku's-sensei was. Very well Itachi. Let's start with Kawarimi. Itachi substituted with the chair by the door without using hand seals. Very good. Extra marks for the seal-less one. Now why don't you do henge? Itachi nodded and hanged into his mother Makoto Uchiha. Very good. You have done it perfectly. Now show us at least 3 bunshins. Itachi nodded and went on to do 3 bunshins. Very good Itachi. Take your Hitai 8 and wear it with pride. Itachi smiled a small smile, nods his head and picked up his Hotai 8 and went outside the room. The next to be called was Yugao, who after 5 minutes came out with her Hitai 8 around her neck. Lastly Naruto was called. He went inside where Iku's was waiting for him. Ah Naruto, come, first of all why don't you start with henge? Naruto nodded and soon hanged into the Sandaime Hokage. Iku's looked for any problems, finding none he said, "Very good." Now a Kawarimi, Naruto proceeded to substitute himself with the chair near the door. Very good. And seal-less one at that. Now finally Bunshin. Naruto made a half-ram seal and soon 10 clones popped into existence. Iku's was amazed to see such a young child doing Kage Bunshin. He smiled and said, "Excellent. You pass. Take your Hitai Tae and wear it with pride." Smiling Naruto picked up his Hitai 8 and went outside the room. He came to his classroom and saw Itachi and Yugao waiting for him. Seeing them he smiled back. Iku's came into the classroom and addressed them, "Well class, it's good to see that all of you have passed the exam. Now know this isn't the end of learning. Don't become overconfident and do something silly out there. It has been a privilege to have been able to teach you all. Ah, before I forget, Hotaru is the Rookie of the Year and Kurenai is the Kunoichi of the Year. All of you return next week to get to know your genin teams. Okay then, goodbye everyone." Saying his piece Iku's left. Slowly everyone dispersed. On coming outside Naruto and Co. saw Makoto, Shisui, Sandaime and family and Yugao's grandparents were waiting for them. All of them were ushered in the group where the 3 of them were congratulated by everyone. Even Kakashi dropped by suddenly to congratulate Naruto. He presented Naruto with some lightning jutsus. Yugao was gifted a katana, whereas Itachi was gifted a scroll of fire jutsu for passing the exam. At the end of the day, Makoto invited everyone present there for dinner, which all of them wholeheartedly agreed. They went to spend their in celebration for the newly made genin. Naruto before departing looked towards his father's face on the monument and put thumbs up towards it, as if telling him that he passed. Seeing that everyone smiled, they knew that this group of shinobi would be greats in the coming future. A day before the team assignment day. Hokage office. Hiruzen Sarutobi was sitting in his office waiting for some of his guests he had called for. He had already finished his day's work. He was looking forward to the next day. He was after all was going to take a new genin team. All he needed to do was sort out a few matters and then he would be ready for the new job. He was hoping to do right with this new batch of students. His last batch of students were complete failure in lot of places. His first student Orochimaru was AS class missing nin of the village. He could still remember when he first met Orochimaru. He was silent but kind boy who was very talented. Heck, his talent made him ignore his other two students a little and teach him. But alas, he fell to darkness. He went on to experiment on living beings, mainly being infant children. When he confronted him, he couldn't himself to end his student, leading him to escape. He has already made a promise to himself that the next time he sees Orochimaru, he was going to kill him. His next student, Tsunade Senju, was a gambler and drunkard. She is going around all across elemental nations wallowing in sorrow. She has condemned the Hokage seat for all the misfortune that she has faced. Moving around, wasting all the money and falling in debt. He had let her leave the village, so that after some time of cooling down, she would return. He wished her to continue at least as a medic in the hospital. But apparently, she has decided to never return. Even in crises he cannot count on her. He has already decided if push comes to the shove, then he would withdraw her free pass, and if she refuses to return even then he would mark her as a missing nin. Last but not the least, Jiraiya, who has failed to inform any significant information over the last 3 years. He had completely disappeared from the face of the nations. All the ANBUs he had sent after him to get in contact to him have returned empty-handed. He was especially angry that Jiraiya had not even visited his godson in the last 3 years, when he needed his support the most. He was running away from his duties as usual. The old Hokage was reminding himself of his old failures when there was a knock on the door. He composed his thoughts and said, "Enter." Opening the door, came in 5 individuals. The first was Pineapple Head, who released an aura of laziness. The person was the Jonin commander Shikaku Nara. The second person was a Anbu wearing a cheetah mask. He was his Anbu commander. The last 3 were his advisors and his old teammates. Kaharu Udatane, Homura Mitokado, and last but not the least Danzo Shimura. The last 3 were his old teammates from his time under the Nadaime. Welcome everyone, thank you for coming on the short notice. I have actually a matter to discuss to you all regarding tomorrow's team assignments. Well, more of my decision on the subject. Hearing the old Hokage, all of them became confused. Danzo asked, "What are you trying to say, Hiruzen?" Looking towards his teammate, Sandaime continued, "Danzo, I am going to take 3 new students this year. Most precisely, I am taking another Genin team. A new Team 7. The reaction was as expected by the old Hokage. Everyone was gaping like a fish at the announcement of the Hokage. Danzo, who had most control over his emotion, only widened his lone eye a little. Even he didn't expect this situation. Hiruzen, you can't be serious. The village needs you at this moment. Without you many things will go disarray. Plus, are you not a little too old for taking a Genin team?" Voiced Kaharu. Hearing the old comment, Sandaime gained a tick mark on his head. Raining down his emotion, he replied, "No, Kaharu, I am not that old. And regarding duties, that's why I called Shikaku here. He will be taking control of the duty of giving out missions to our shinobis. His lazing around days is over. He will be taking the responsibilities the Jonin commander should do." Shikaku dropped his head depressed. Now he wouldn't be able to spend his time cloud watching. Sandaime continued, "Cheetah and Shikaku will work together regarding Anbu missions. On the other hand, you all be presiding over the council meetings that I might not be able to attend, but no resolutions would be passed without my signature on the paper." Everyone was shocked with what the old Hokage was saying. They were having many questions, but Homura had a question for his old friend, Hiruzen. "Why?" Sandaime closed his eyes, after a few seconds opened them. Everyone could see emotions such as failure, sadness. The old-timer answered, "I have failed, old friend. I failed with my last 3 students. They didn't turn out remotely close to what I wanted them to be. They became great shinobi based on their skills, but none of them became what I wanted them to be, that is good humans. One is criminal, other is gambler and drunkard, last one is a depraved pervert who runs away from responsibilities." Then everyone saw new emotions in the eyes of their old leader, hope and determination. Sandaime continued, but, now I want to do the right thing. With these three I want remedy my mistakes and hope I will be finally able to impart all my knowledge to them, helping them to achieve their dreams. These children will be my legacy, they will be the inheritors of the will of fire. They will be the future, he finished determinedly. Everyone, except Danzo, smiled at their Hokage's wish and dream. Homura said, very well old friend, we will support you. I hope they became your true legacy. If you don't mind me asking, who are they? Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, Itachi Uchiha and Yugao Azuki. Hearing the names everyone had one thing in mind, three prodigies of the future, guided by the god of shinobi. Only time will tell where they will reach in the end of the day. They are going to create waves. The next day, Shinobi Academy. Naruto had left the Sarutobi little earlier than usual. He couldn't sleep last night due to excitement, he just kept thinking of the team he was going to be a part of. He was sitting in his seat. He was wearing a black shirt with dark orange borders. It had a Uzumaki symbol on the back. He was black Anbu-style pants with two kunai and shuriken holsters on either side of his hip. He was black Hitai over his forehead with two blue wristbands on either hand. He was reading the level 5 book for Fuinjutsu that he got as a gift from his Jiji. He was into his book when the door slides open. He looked up and saw Yugao standing there. She was deep blue jacket and matching pants with a katana on the back. Seeing him, she joined him and sat beside him. Hello Naruto-kun. Excited, Naruto put his book away and said smiling, hell yeah. I couldn't sleep last night because of this. Yugao chuckled seeing her favorite blonde's excitement. Soon the door opened again and the rest of the students arrived. They saw Itachi entering wearing a Uchiha-style black t-shirt and black Anbu pants and two kunai holsters. Seeing them, he joined the group. Hey guys, I hope you are ready for today. I just hope we are together in one team. It would be great to be within a team with you too. The other two smiled and nodded their heads hoping that they were on the same team. Yugao was praying a little extra so that she gets put with Naruto, who was also her secret crush. What she didn't know was that he was doing the same. Soon Iku-sensei walked in and greeted them, hello everyone. I hope you are doing good, now today you are going to be a part of a team. Remember that teamwork is a very important thing. It's good to be confident about one's ability, but it is unwise to be overconfident. You all will have to start believing and trusting whoever will be your teammates. Now for the teams. Naruto closed paying attention when it started as Team 1. Soon his name was called out, he paid attention. Team 7 will be Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, Itachi Uchiha and finally Yugao Azuki, your Jonin sensei will be. What? Ikus couldn't believe the name that was written. He rubbed his eyes and rechecked the name, but it was fine. Some of them getting impatient asked, who is the sensei of Team 7 sensei? Ikus looked up and was about to answer when the door slides open. On the door stood the Sandaime Hokage wearing his battle yukata with his bow staff by his side. The old Hokage calmly answered, I am the Jonin sensei of Team 7. Everyone was gaping at him as if he was joking. Naruto and Co. couldn't believe what they were hearing. They were going to be taught by the Hokage himself, it was surreal for them. Soon Sandaime asked his team, Team 7 meet me at training ground 42 in 10 minutes. He then proceeded to disappear in a first shunshin. Naruto and company were dumbfounded and sat there like statues. Itachi broke off from his shock and said, guys, let's go. The other breaking out of their shock quickly jumped on their feet and the trio left in shunshin. Ikus could only stand there and think, it seems they would be hearing great things from these three, with Sandaime-sama being their sensei they are destined for greatness. After 10 minutes, in training ground 42, Naruto, Itachi and Yugao arrived at training ground 42, they saw Sandaime sitting under a tree with 4 cups of tea. Looking towards the trio, the old Hokage beckoned them to come to him. They went to the tree, sit down the three of you, let's talk a little. Naruto asked his Jiji, Jiji what are you doing? As soon as he finished, Naruto received a whack on the back of his head from the Sandaime, who replied, "Sensei. You will be calling me Sensei from today, Naruto-kun. As for what I am doing, I am waiting for small talk with my students. Now why don't you all sit down and let's start, shall we?" Nodding their heads, they sat down. Hiruzen offered each of them a cup of tea and took a sip of his own. He then looked towards them and said, "Well, from now on we will be a team, so it's better that we introduce ourselves and get to know each other. Let's start with Naruto-kun, go on, give us your introduction." Nodding his head, Naruto started, "My name Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. I am 8 years old. I like the village, Sarutobi family, Makoto Oba-san, Itachi, Yugao-chan, ramen, reading new books, learning new jutsus. I dislike perverts, rapists and those who look down on another. I have a hobby of playing flute, playing shogi, gardening and cooking. My dream for the future is to be a strong shinobi, so that I can protect my precious people and have a family in the future." "Very good, Naruto-kun. Now Itachi-kun," Hiruzen said. Itachi started, "My name Itachi Uchiha, I am 8 years old. I like my family, the village, spending time with my friends here, dango and omelette. I dislike perverts, rapists and traitors. My hobby is to learn new fire jutsus and cooking. My dream is to be a Anbu captain and the best Uchiha since Madara." Hiruzen smiled at him and said, "Very good, Itachi-kun. Now lastly, Yugao-chan, go ahead and introduce yourself." Yugao started, "My name Yugao Azuki, I am 8 years old. I like kenjutsu, cats, my family, Naruto-kun and my village. My dislikes are perverts, rapists and traitors. My dream is to be the best kenjutsu user in history of Konoha and have nice family of my own in the future." She finished, subtly looking towards Naruto, who also was taking subtle glances towards her when he was introducing himself. This though didn't go unnoticed by the Sandaime. He thought, "Ah, young love, so sweet." They continued to discuss other things, mainly about friendship, what being a shinobi means and other topics. After the discussion, the old Hokage then said, "Very well, now that the exam is over, Team Hiruzen is official." The 3 newly made genin got confused when he said about the test. Yugao decided to put their thought in words, "Anyo. Sensei, what test are you talking about?" Seeing their confused face, the old Hokage chuckled. "The test was to gauge your thinking, if it even was fit for a shinobi. You 3 have no problem with skills and teamwork since the beginning. You 3 have been training together, so teamwork wouldn't be a problem. You 3 cherish each other and are prepared to take a hit for each other. The main point of our conversation was to see your mentality. I must say you 3 pass with flying colors. You have the will of fire burning brightly inside your hearts." The Sandaime proudly said. Hearing his compliment, the 3 genin became a little embarrassed. Hiruzen looked towards the 3 of them and said, "In the coming days we will be training both physically and mentally. I though wouldn't be there with you on all missions as your Jonin sensei, but I would be training you to handle all kinds of situation." Itachi asked, "Sensei, who will be with us when you will not be able to come with us on missions?" "Me," came an excited voice. Everyone turned towards the source and saw Shisui standing there. They were clearly surprised. Seeing their faces, the Sandaime chuckled and Shisui laughed. He then said, "Yes, I will be the Jonin sensei of Team 7 when Sandaime-sama will be unavailable. I will be leading the team on missions as well." He finished smiling. The Sandaime continued, "Though mainly I will be going on with you all on high B or higher rank missions, he will be leading you all on D, C and some B rank missions." The Hokage then stood up and urged them to follow him. They came to a rock with a lot of names marked on it. Hiruzen looked towards them and said, "This memorial stone, it contains the names of all the shinobis who gave their lives for the village. Some of my teammates are there as well. I will be telling you something that I said to my first team: those who abandon are scums, but those who don't value the lives of their comrades are worse than scum. Remember that at all costs. I as the Hokage sometime have to make some rather difficult decision, but I never intentionally place my comrades on the harm's way. The three newly made genin gained look of determination, especially Naruto and Itachi. To Hiruzen it seemed he was the Shadaime and Nadaime all over again. He knew that these students will make history and he will be there to support and teach them. He doesn't know what the future holds, but he sure knows one thing: it was going to be interesting.